Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song. Well, actually, the songs, the Exogenesis Symphony. I'm going to do all three parts together by Muse. As always, this comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you want to be that person to request something, just leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to add it to my list. So at this point, I've heard quite a bit of music from Muse, spanning, I think I've done everything from their first album to their most recent album and everything in between. So at least I think I have. And so, I've heard quite a bit from them, and I want to say I've sort of become accustomed to their style. Yet they always seem to surprise me with something fresh and interesting and just amazing. So really excited to jump into this one. This is a bit of a longer kind of medley here, so just kind of get comfortable, and we're gonna take like a 12-ish minute journey here. So let's do it. This is the Exogenesis Symphony, all parts by Muse. Here we go. It seems very reminiscent of like the opening to a Spider-Man movie or something, like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. That was cool. Part 1, love it so far. Damn, man, I love this. I love this so far. 2 parts in. Building up to something here. Man, I absolutely loved that. That was damn good. That oh boy, I literally have goosebumps right now. Like, and if you don't have goosebumps, that doesn't give you goosebumps, I have no idea what will. Like, to me, that I was thinking about it while we were listening. To me, that's akin to something like Bohemian Rhapsody. Like the first time you hear it, just thinking of how epic it sounds, how it sounds like nothing else you've heard before. You know, I remember the first time I ever heard Bohemian Rhapsody. It blew my mind, right? Because it was just like this rock opera, you know, and that's kind of how I would describe this too, is just a rock opera, or even a rock epic. I give it the same feeling I gave, I felt when I heard like Rush's 2112, like just an epic rock song, spanning these three sort of movements here. Man, this was gorgeous. I loved the song a whole lot. So really excited to talk about it. Let's take it piece by piece. Let's start with the lyrics. I have kind of all three parts here. Let's see. Bit of an about section here. It says the Symphony at the end of Muse's fifth album is, as the word exogenesis indicates, based around the hypothetical concept that life originated elsewhere in the universe and was either intentionally or unintentionally spread to Earth. I think I've heard that theory before, like we traveled on like a comet, or not a comet, but like an asteroid or meteor or something that hit Earth, and that bacteria kind of spread it. I've heard that theory, I guess, before, or the concept. The first part of the symphony, the overture, addresses the existential questions that arise in the wake of this hypothesis: who, where, when, and why. Who, where, when, and why. We are all. Can't read right now. Who, where, when, and why are we all? Okay, it's their fault actually for miswriting it, but yeah, all questions that could be asked to either a higher power or an advanced life form that placed us here. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at these lyrics. Aping my soul, you stole my overture, trapped in God's program. Oh, I can't escape. Who are we? Where are we? When are we? Why are we? Who are we? Where are we? Why? I can't forgive you. and I can't forget. Who are we? Where are we? When are we? Why are we here? I guess sometimes I'm almost jealous of people who are religious, because to them the answer is clear, like God put us here, that kind of thing, right? Which I guess he's sort of addressing here. But it sounds like it's one of those things like I didn't ask to be put here, like look at the world that you've created. I can't forgive you and I can't forget. But it's not as comforting to people who maybe don't believe in God, who are just like, I don't know where we came from. And it's almost terrifying in a sense that life just kind of sprouted up on Earth. And so you come up with these theories, right, where maybe we came here from some far-off planet, starting off as only bacteria or something, right? I mean, there's just so much out there as far as just questions go on the creation of the universe, creation of life, so pretty interesting there. Let's look at the next part. So the second part of Exogenesis Symphony deals with the events that follow the existential crisis of the first part overture. Humanity is no longer able to inhabit the Earth, so a select group of people is chosen to find another place to restart the human race. The story of cross-pollination closely mirrors that of Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, which was released 5 years after Muse made The Resistance. That's cool. Great movie, by the way. If you've never seen Interstellar, it is like one of the top movies of all time, in my opinion. Rise above the crowds and wade through toxic clouds. Breach the outer sphere, the edge of all our fears. Rest with you. We are counting on you. It's up to you. Spread our codes to the stars. You must rescue us all. Spread our codes to the stars. You must rescue us all. Tell us your final wish. Now we know you can never return. Tell us your final wish. We will tell it to the world. Yeah, definitely very much sounds like Interstellar. Like we need you to go find help, essentially. We need you to continue the human race. Very cool. Also, again, reminds me of like Rush's 2112 in the sense. I got the same feeling listening and reading these lyrics from that I got from that song. It's just like it's an interesting like science fiction epic told in song form, which I think is really cool. So, all right, let's look at the third part. The final part of the three-piece work, Exogenesis Symphony, relates the thoughts and innermost feelings of the characters from the first two parts, Overture and Cross-Pollination. So let's see. Excuse me, let's start over again. Why can't we start it over again? Just let us start it over again and we'll be good. This time we'll get it right. We'll get it right. It's our last chance to forgive ourselves. So, I mean, it sounds to me like they're leaving Earth because they've kind of royally fucked up Earth, right? Which I think is kind of what we all can see that we're barreling towards, but we're not doing anything to stop it. So, you get movies like Interstellar that addresses this same thing. This song addresses that same thing. I mean, people like Elon Musk are like, yeah, humanity's like hope for survival lives on Mars or something, right? Like we need to go colonize Mars. And so it's just like I think we're all very much aware that like we have this sort of impending doom lingering above our heads, and I guess in mankind's sort of selfishness, or at least their will to live, it's like we look to the heavens, to the stars, to the planets to hopefully continue the human race, because we have royally screwed up this planet for sure. And that's kind of what he's saying. It's like, hey, I promise we'll do better this time, which I think is pretty interesting. So lyrically, I mean, I think it tells a pretty complete story when you put all three parts together. And I'm a sucker for space, for science fiction, for all kinds of stuff like that. So I got to give this one 2 big thumbs up for sure. As far as the instrumentation goes and the vocals, let's start vocally. I think Matt Bellamy here is as great as he always is. I mean, the dude can sing. There's no doubt about that. But his very like sort of high-pitched melodic singing is just fantastic. It really, really works well with what they're doing instrumentally. So I've always said, like, it's hard for me to listen to a Muse song that doesn't have Matt Bellamy singing. I know there's a couple, instrumental songs here and there, but I have to have his voice on a Muse track to really get the full feeling from it, just because he is such a great vocalist, like I said. So he does a great job in these 3 tracks, just like he always does. Instrumentally, there was something I was thinking about while I was listening, and it's that I hate songs that feel like they're building up to something and then never get there. And so I'm glad to say that this song does. These 3 songs do not do that. Every time they give you that feeling of building up to something, of trying to reach this sort of crescendo, they always hit you with a very satisfying sort of climax to that movement there. So they really do a good job of giving you that satisfying payoff when they kind of make it sound like they're building up to something. I think part 2 maybe did that really well. I mean, all the parts really did it well, where you start off with this sort of calm classical, either strings or piano, what have you. And it builds up. They introduce the guitars, they introduce the drums, and it really swells to this really, really nice, again, sort of payoff to what they were building up to. So I really love that they do that. Just fantastic work here, and I'm sure Matt Bellamy has his fingerprints all over it. The piano was gorgeous. The strings were gorgeous. I really liked in the first part how they started with just the strings, and then they kind of brought in the drums, brought in Matt singing, and then they really hit you with some like rock and roll guitar on top of that, and I thought that just made for a really cool opening track. Again, same thing with kind of the piano. Start with just the piano, then they start bringing in more elements. They really knew how to sort of build upon each element to really, again, give you that satisfying payoff. So, man, instrumentally, this one, again, was epic. This was like a epic rock opera, you know, so I got to give it 2 big thumbs up instrumentally and vocally as well. As far as replay value goes, look, all 3 parts are going on the playlist, no doubt about that. I honestly feel like I loved each part individually, separately. I guess what I'm trying to say is I love each part for what it was. I don't feel like I can pick out one part that I liked more than the other. I really enjoy, I guess, the sum of the parts, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So overall, a fantastic 3 songs here. I give them 2 big thumbs up for replay value, just across the board. Fantastic songs. I wish Spotify had a feature where you can like link songs together, because I would go in and I would link all 3 of these songs together. That way, anytime I played one of them, they would all play sort of in the order that they're supposed to be played, because I can't imagine really going back and listening to any of these songs individually. I really feel like I have to have the entire experience. But with that said, guys, fantastic request. And honestly, I can say that a lot of people have been sort of requesting this symphony here. So, solid request. Sorry it took me so long, but we finally got to it. So, as always, if you want to be that person to request something, just leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to add it to my list. If you enjoy the music as much as I did, of course, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And if you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube would be great, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. You can also check the description if you want to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Twitter. All right, guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.